Riz, here you are.
What's
You want to
up?
introduce yourself, dude?
I guess so. I'm Pokey Riz, and the Riz came long before Riz was an actual word. I feel like an old man for saying that, but sometimes I get some weird questions on the Instagram. But
Yeah,
yeah, my real name is Matt, and I guess I collect error cards.
right on. How'd you get into collecting in general? When did it start?
Oh man, I was into collecting, right? I think probably like everyone else, as soon as you had an opportunity to get cards in your hands.
Yeah,
For me, it was whenever they first came out. I always had wanted them, and it was maybe a couple months that went by when they got first released. And my mom kept saying, "No, you don't need those things. That's the next fad. It's going to be out the door tomorrow."
yep, yep.
And one day I came home and she had a starter deck for me with the Machamp, the
Right
sealed
on.
Machamp. And I
Yep.
kept that boy sealed for years.
Oh yeah.
And from there forward, it was just as many times as I could get on the playground and trade the cards and collect whatever I could. Really,
Right on.
that's kind of how I started. Then I guess it was like a good, I don't know, 15 years after that that I even got back into it.
Right
I
on.
came back in around 2018. I really had no money up until that point,
Yep.
so collecting was a futile experience.
Fair.
So
Fair.
yeah,
It's
came back in.
recently gotten
Uh,
very expensive
yeah, exactly right.
with the amount of
But
people that are joining, but yeah.
yeah, I came back in and I thought to myself, what's something that I wanted as a kid? And it was a first. It wasn't first edition. It was just like
Yep.
base set unlimited.
Yep,
Never
this
had
is this is exactly what Ash said too. She's like, it all
really.
started with collecting base set.
Yeah. So I went on eBay and I bought a base set, and it was just too easy.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So then I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll make it harder because people said in the forums that I was reading, because I was very new to this. Well, I wasn't new overall to the hobby, but new to collecting, I guess.
Hmm.
And people were like, oh, Shadowless is hard. So then I hopped on eBay and started doing the Shadowless set.
Yeah,
And yeah, that went by pretty quick too.
yeah,
So that's what led me to errors because I felt like there was a thrill in finding these things because you could find any card out there right now that you really want to in a PSA 10.
yeah,
But to find an error that, maybe one of one or, may have 10 copies,
yeah.
the likelihood of you getting those 10 copies or even one copy from the people who hold them are ridiculously difficult. So
So difficult.
it was more of the chase for me, and that's why I got into errors.
So how did you get into the airs? Like what, how did you discover them?
It's funny, I actually have the card here. I don't know if you wanted me to
Oh,
flip the
let's
card.
see it.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Okay.
Tie the story to the card. Love that.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. I'm just gonna blind everyone
Damn,
here. I
look at
brought
this
a
guy. He's
light.
a little
Oh yeah, I'm
model.
trying my hardest here.
Oh my gosh, he's got the full setup. This guy's ready to rock and roll.
Oh, I want it to be good for you.
Right
So
on.
this is the card. It was
Oh
listed
yeah.
up on eBay, and it said there is no stars in this card. And I thought to myself, like, I've never seen anything like it. And you can see if you shine a bright enough light, like this thing is ridiculously bright, but
Yes.
if you shine a light on it, you will see one star that appears. But this was the first card that got me into it. The guy's
Right on.
name was Gumber, and Gumber and I ended up becoming friends. But this was the very first error that I bought. My favorite card is Moltres, so this was like the perfect card for me. And I had said this to the group of error collectors that I talked to before, but if this card would have shown up and been like, in, there are some examples of this card here that have a lot of stars in it, even if you just shine a little flash as opposed to even a huge flash on it. If this would have shown up and had, like 6 or 7 stars, or even had like some of them I've seen with the incomplete hollow pattern that PSA is calling it, they have even up to 10 stars. if this had anything more than that one over there, I honestly don't know if I'd even continue. So the fact that it came in and it was what it was pretty special to me.
Yeah.
And then I went on a mission of trying to find these things. I contacted Rusty, TCA Gaming, and
Oh
asked
yeah.
him if he had ever even seen or heard of these things. And that was by email at the time. I didn't have any social media.
Oh yeah.
So it was an interesting conversation going back and forth through there.
Via
But
email, right
yeah,
on.
yeah. And basically, it was him and a couple of other people basically told me that this was just a variant and not to bother too much with it. But I knew that there was something different about them. So I started into a little bit of a rabbit hole and I ended up collecting the set of these in first edition. So
Sweet.
yeah,
That's so cool
there's
that
your
you
first one.
still have your first error card. I definitely do not.
No matter what, this will never go anywhere. I mean, I
So that's the
broke up
one
the
card
set
you'll
of
never
these.
sell?
This one for sure. Yep.
Right on.
I mean, I have probably more valuable cards in terms of monetary
Yeah.
or financials, but yeah, this is probably the one that pulls on my heartstrings the most.
Yep. Love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Do
That's
you want
so
me to keep
cool that
going
you
with
still
just my
have
little
that.
stack?
Yeah, sure. We can keep going with your stack, showing the collection a bit. I'm down.
No, I want you to lead this thing. I don't want to take over, but I got these things already pulled out.
I mean, hey, let's run it.
All right.
We can run the some
Second
more
one.
questions after.
Yeah, man. I got this guy here. So this is the Cosmos Haunter.
Beautiful.
And this is, well, I think a lot of people who would follow me on Instagram or who know me know that I have an absolute love for Cosmos Fossil.
Yep.
Fossil is my favorite set, and the Cosmos in it has always intrigued me. Like, where did it come from? Why is it here? Why is it a completed card? Was it in packs? Like, what's going on with these things? And the curious thing is, not a lot of people really know. That's
I don't.
the
I don't
the
honestly.
allure to it. Well, okay, so without going too much into it, because I could probably bore everyone to death with it, I went back into old chat logs from WotC, and I came to find out that in February of 2000, they ran out of the starry foil pattern that you normally see on the
Oh.
cards. So they started to test to see if they could get a new foil pattern for the next set, which at the time it was going to be base set 2. So
Oh
base
yeah.
set 2 has the Cosmos pattern. Now, they tried to use a foiling pattern that mimicked what was happening in Japan. So that's why we see the cosmos in the background as opposed to the stars.
Yep.
And that's why they chose to go with that. And yeah, there's a couple of theories as to where these came from. Honestly, the truth of the matter is no one really knows. No one has ever seen one open from a pack. But all the instances that at least I know of date back to either former WotC employees or the Seattle, Washington region. So
Oh,
that's
interesting.
at least a theory for you.
Huh. Yeah, 'cause like the
Yeah.
only things I know about the Cosmos is I know about the one sheet that got cut.
Mm, recently, yeah.
Yeah, recently, but that's pretty much it. But I don't even know if it had. Does it even have fossil on that sheet? I can't even remember.
Yeah, there's one that just got cut, and it has the Cosmos pattern. Now, the differentiation is going to be the fact that the ones that got cut are going to be square
Yep.
in the corners, and there's not going to be a Pokeball on the back.
Oh, is it
So
blank?
it's a blank back, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, to my knowledge, this is the only fully formed, and when I mean fully formed, like fully rounded corners, completed Pokeball back, Cosmos variant, because we've seen base set sheets
Yep.
with the Cosmos as a test. We have seen Jungle. We've seen, what was I just talking about? The blank back fossils. But this
Yep.
is the only one that ever had the fully complete rounded corners into the Pokeball back. So really curious as to where it came from, but I'm really happy that I have a couple of these.
Yeah, those are such crazy cards. They
Yeah,
just look
actually,
so good with the Cosmo, having the swirls and
right?
everything on the art. Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Looks way
And
cooler
then
than the star pattern.
completely agree. And I got a fun little story about this one actually. So my daughter was just born back in 2020, and I had been searching eBay every single day for multiple times a day, just every fossil card. And she had woken up in the middle of the night, as babies do every like 2 hours. And I was exhausted, but I opened up my phone, and eBay was on the screen, and I decided to refresh the page, and sure enough, I found this guy just sitting there on eBay for $60.
No way.
Yeah, this is the one.
Holy
So
crap.
I bought it immediately, and then I came to find out it was Cool Trainer Ryan was the person selling.
Oh, no
So I
kidding.
connected, yeah, so I connected with him, and I offered him, I think it was $2,000 for the card, and I just wanted to be honest and tell him like, I appreciate the fact that I got it for cheap, but I want to make sure that you're whole as well. And he ended up saying, no, don't worry about it, just enjoy the card. So yeah, I ended up getting it for the
Wow.
$60, and I'm really happy with it. So
Wow,
there you
that's
go.
awesome. Shout out to Cool
No,
Trainer Ryan. Damn.
for real. I
That's
know.
awesome.
Also, shout out to Min. Min was the one who was my middleman for that.
Oh yeah, right on, dude.
Yeah. Another
That's
one
sick.
here. So I got a hollow shift here next. This
Beautiful.
is my first hollow shift. This previously belonged to Pokeballs. His name is Peter, and I think I bugged him, and I kid you not, every single day for about a year.
Hey, you still got that Hitmon?
Yeah, and just checking in. I think Hitmonlee wants to come over to my place for a visit, and yeah, no, it ended up becoming a running joke between the two of us. But then one day he actually did have to sell, and thankfully I was on top of his priority list, and I was able to pick this one up. So a lot of what I'm showing tonight, and honestly, a lot of my collection is a result of having a really good community and really good friends. So I'm really happy with the people I've met. I've always said like the cards are great
Yep.
and I love owning them, but the people are better.
Dude, you're honestly, that is such a good way to put it. I
Thanks.
yeah, no, the way with the community and everything, I just way prefer that. That yeah, no. Especially when you have like a good connection with everybody. It's like, yeah, the cards are cool, but like you have such a good connection to people. It's just like, yeah, no, that's so much better.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that's so cool that you have so many cards with stories tied to them. I have like nothing like that.
Well, you'll get there. I mean, you've
Oh, that's
only
not true.
been talking to me.
I got this guy right here, dude. Remember this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
I'll
go. That's a story. That'll never get
met, met
sold.
met someone in person, I think, and they're a pretty good guy. Give you one of those.
Yeah, whoever that guy was, he's pretty sweet, hey?
For anyone watching, it was me. No,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah,
it
it was
was.
him. It was him.
This is the next one I have. So this
Ooh,
is a missing print layer,
right on.
and it's on the Mew. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love the ancient Mew card first and foremost, and then for it to have the hollow it does,
Yeah,
you
that
can't even
looks
see the card at a certain
crazy.
period.
Yeah. How does that even occur? Because isn't it like only one of those cards on the sheet that's like that? Because I'm pretty sure I've seen
Yeah,
like an uncut sheet of that, and there's like only one that's missing the layer on it.
that's exactly right. There's one it's not even on all of the sheets. I believe it was early sheets that had it.
Okay.
Um, there is so much that I don't know, especially about Ancient Mew. There are so many versions and copies of Ancient Mew,
True.
but I have seen the same sheet. I was actually lucky enough to see a video of that sheet. It's a really cool sheet.
Oh yeah.
It's in the top left corner. I believe it's 2 rows down, one column from the side. That's where it sits. And I don't know really if it was intended to be like a you know how we see fillers on certain sheets?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if this was intended to be a filler,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Could be. Oh, yeah,
but
that would make sense.
I've also read up on like a Mew Facebook group once that it was just something that was missed and then quickly um, fixed with later print runs.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure what the answer is, but I got this card because of a really good friend Thump.
Shout out
Thump
to Thump, dude.
Thump found this card in someone's Instagram story.
Oh, no kidding, eh?
Yeah, and it's funny because I had helped Shocker acquire one of these.
Hmm.
Actually, Joe, the long story about that. If Shocker is ever on, ask him about his ancient Mew. But Joe and I, or Reggie and I, worked to try and help Shocker get one of these, and I'd always kind of wanted one too. And Thump found one, and yeah, good guy sold it to me.
Right on.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I got one more, and then I'm sorry. Like I said, I think I hijacked things.
No need to apologize, dude. You're just showing the goodies.
This is the final card. This is
Oh,
my Don't Error Hitmonlee. To my knowledge, this is the highest grade, 9.5
oof.
of these. This is where you are missing the apostrophe in the word don't in stretch kick.
And you were the
I
one who
had,
found this.
so it was a combined effort, we'll put it that way. It was myself and another collector, and we were talking about an inverted Hitmonlee
Yep.
that was on Facebook, and I was I was raving over the fact that it was an inverted Hitmonlee. This one obviously isn't.
Yep.
And he said, "Yeah, but have you looked at the front?" And I thought to myself, "Well, what's the difference on the front? Like, there's nothing here." And then after a while, he gave me the clue, and it was actually this other person that found the word "don't" missing the apostrophe.
Oh.
So from that moment forward, I thought, well, is this like a one-off? Like, what's going on here? So then from there forward, every single day I would look at Hitmonlees, every single one that would pop up. And over the course of 5 years, I came to get enough of these that I could send it off to CGC, and CGC recognized them and graded a few of them. They are, and this is anecdotal, obviously, like it's just from me, but like I literally looked at every single Hitmonlee for 5 years.
Oh, I can
These are
imagine the amount of
these are
listings.
stupid find. Like you have a really hard time finding these guys. Like I found way more defending B drills in that time
Oh, really?
than I would find like almost 2 to 1 type of idea.
Oh my
These
goodness.
things are not easy to find. And the fact that this guy 9.5,
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, Hitmonlee is the hardest fossil to grade overall. I mean, the pop 10 is like, I don't know, sub 50 maybe.
Damn.
So I'm really happy with this card.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
crazy. That's
there you
sick.
go. And just took out a few cards to talk to you about and then
Hell yeah.
took over here.
Well, those were some pretty epic
Turn the
cards, and
camera off.
I was stoked that you had stories to share with them too, because that's like my favorite thing with cards is having like the connection to them and everything.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah,
All
me
right.
too. I love
So,
the connection to the card.
yep, I agree. So you said your favorite Pokemon's Moltres, eh?
Yep.
How come?
Um, I used to, and this goes back to like the days when I first got into collecting.
Yep.
I used to cut my grandmother's grass and work with my granddad cutting logs. And at lunchtime, we would go to their gazebo, and instead of paying me some days, they would pay me in Pokemon packs.
Right on. That's the
And
best way to get paid.
yeah, and one day I got a fossil pack and opened it up, and there was a Moltres inside, and just reminds me of my grandma and my childhood, and that's my favorite card.
Oh, that's awesome. Dude, why do you always have so many good stories tied to things? It's crazy. Oh man. So how did you so you started air collecting with going with the incomplete hollow patterns is how you first got into it, correct?
Well, that was the first error. The here's another little fun story. The
Uh-huh.
first real like error set that I went after was Hollow Bleed from Base Set.
Oh yeah.
So my wife and I, we used to go to little card shops, and this is not a joke. And I used to have people really make fun of me at card shops, but I used to take a flashlight with me,
Yeah.
and I would take a little flashlight and I'd flashlight the little light on the card
Yeah. Yeah.
and look for extra stars. And yeah, that was the first errors that I started hunting. Yeah, I ended up selling those, but yeah, I still have a couple of photos of them. I used
Sweet.
to love them.
You know what's funny? Ash's first error card was also a Hollow Bleed base set.
Well, here is a nice connection if we ever
Oh.
have our two. And I don't even know if she knows this, to be honest. I don't know if Ash and I have ever actually spoke about this.
Oh yeah.
Kind of cool. But when I was looking, I I couldn't find any information on hollow bleeds at all, at all, at all.
Yeah.
And then I stumbled across a YouTube video from like 2017 or something like that, and it was her, and it
No
was her
kidding.
showing some of her hollow bleeds,
Huh.
and I thought to myself, "Oh my gosh, I wonder if this person has more." And I wrote a comment on this YouTube from like years prior,
Yeah.
and sure enough, she just liked the comment and wrote, "Sorry, I don't have any for sale right now." But yeah, I don't think she knows that.
That's
It's kind of a
crazy. That's
yeah,
hilarious. Wow. Oh, that's
yeah.
actually so cool. Small world, but it's actually not so small. How do you feel about the how the air community's like grown so much within the past, well, I guess since 2020 with the big
Yeah.
boom and everything since like I think like I don't know, when I joined in I guess around the 2020 mark, the air group was around like 40,000 people, but now it's literally doubled. It's at like 80 plus thousand people. How do
Yeah,
you
that's
how do
pretty
you feel
crazy.
about there being like way more people into collecting errors and like the market being more popular, but then also things becoming more expensive with them in that sense too?
I, I personally think it's a good thing.
Yeah,
I like the idea that there are more eyes on it. Their only way to find these errors is to have
more
people actually
people.
look
Yeah,
and find it.
true.
I mean, the likelihood that any one of the people who do this for their hobby like consistently for the last 10 years or so finding them themselves, whether it's pulling through a pack or going to a card shop and finding, or even on eBay, is slim. But the
Yeah,
more people who are out there and the more people who are opening packs, the more people who are visiting card shops, like the greater likelihood we're going to see really cool stuff. So for me, I like it. I do wish, I think my bank account doesn't like it as much, but
dude, my bank hates it. Oh, but I will say
yeah,
my shelf, I do like my shelf.
I don't know if I've seen your shelf, but I need to see
It's
your shelf.
it's very small.
We
It's a
should turn
very
this around
small
now and
it's a
have
very
you.
small shelf. I don't even know if I can angle my oh yeah, no, that's not happening. I'm on my laptop, so I can't really move it that easily. Um,
It's all good.
Small shelf. I can show you a picture later,
Sounds good.
but let's see. Oh, something that I asked Ash earlier about the how do you feel about like all these crazy like uncut sheets and all like the test prints of like the beta, alpha, delta. I don't even know what delta is, but it's there. Like, how do you feel about all these things randomly popping up within the like a 3 week like time period?
Yeah, it's fun to see. It's fun to see these things pop up. I think that it's also difficult, especially for some collectors who have. So, for instance, my big thing was always Cosmos Fossil,
Yeah,
right? And if I were to all of a sudden see a huge influx in the market of Cosmos Fossil, I would probably feel in a certain way like the hard work and dedication that I put in
mm,
to finding these things over the course of 6 years is diluted in a
right.
sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think that seeing these things is incredible. I love seeing what's coming out. The new stuff is always fun to see.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if if I'm a collector of a certain card or a certain error or whatever it might be, I can completely understand the feeling of almost disappointment in some ways of seeing these things come out.
Yeah.
But I'm also really not affected very much because there's no way
Because
I'm going to be able to get to them. So
yeah, I was gonna say, there's the market for those things is like so small. Like I can only
yeah,
imagine how much that the sheet with the freaking what is it, the Snap Pikachu, Magikarp, and whatever the other one is on that. I can only imagine how much money that costed.
yeah, no,
Like,
I wouldn't even want to venture out into
yeah,
finding them.
yeah, no. Oh yeah, no.
I'm just a little collector over here. I don't have that type of change.
Yeah, no, I'll just stick with my I'll stick with my little $40 fines here and there and be happy with it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, I got one for you. I
Yeah.
don't even know where the question's going, but I got another
Yeah.
story for you.
Okay,
So, how
okay.
about the error card that opened up my world to all other errors?
Yes, yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, well that was yeah, pretty much tied in with like how you got into the collecting of the errors.
Yeah.
So what started that?
So initially, it was that Moltres,
Yep.
and then uh, it was Ninetales connected with me and said, "I heard you like these." And I think I had, and this is not a joke, I think I had 3 Instagram followers. I didn't have a profile photo. I literally had just started Instagram. I don't even know how Ninetales found me at the time, so it's kind of funny. But yeah, he said, I heard you like these. He showed me a mirror, Kabutops, I think it was.
Sick.
And then him and I had been talking very sporadically at that point. But my wife actually found a lot in a Canadian Facebook marketplace, and it was miscuts. And
No, really?
yeah, some really cool ones. I didn't bring
Oh,
them down to show you, but we can superimpose them in
yeah.
post.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ended up showing him those cards, and he
Yep.
said, "Well, you should talk to Reggie about them."
Oh yeah.
And I didn't know who Reggie was. I didn't know who anyone was.
Yep.
So then I showed them to Reggie, and he opened up everything for me because he started to introduce me to other error collectors, and from there it just like my mind was blown from the amount of cool things that were out there. Like I said, I didn't have social media. I was emailing people before, right?
Yep.
And I had Facebook, I think. No, I didn't even have Facebook at the time.
Oh
So
man.
I couldn't even search on Facebook. I was looking on eBay error and hoping something would pop up. But meeting other collectors and networking that way, it just, yeah, it opened my world and emptied my bank account.
Oh yeah, no, it empties everybody's bank accounts, that's for damn sure. Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
How do you feel about what's your favorite type of error?
It's going to be the Cosmos fossils. I don't know if it's an error um, per se. Like they're probably like a test,
Yeah.
but those are probably number one. And then I really like the mirror aspect to the incomplete hollow patterns. I always thought there was like the clean look to them. I
Oh
like the
yeah.
idea of like you shine like a hollow on it and you're just seeing like a flat background, but it's still shiny. I know it's probably it's probably funny to think of that being one of my favorites, but yeah, I always thought
Oh,
that that
everybody
had
has their own opinions
a
on
bit of
things. I
beauty.
mean, I mean, for me, the only let's see. I mean, for me, I love miscuts. Some about the cards just showing another card and just being off-centered and stuff. Some about
Yeah.
that just gets me going. You know what I mean?
Hey, I can't blame you. I think that I got a couple in my collection there like that too, and yeah, seeing like an opposing color that you're really not supposed to see on the card.
Oh
I think
yeah.
that really gets it for me. I have a Zapdos, and at the bottom of the Zapdos, there's a Gengar from
Oh,
Fossil.
with the purple on the
So
yellow.
you can see
Oh,
the purple come through. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a really
that's
cool card.
yeah, that's epic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta get some more miscuts, man. My bank account is not stoked about that though. I'll tell you that. Uh, so you've been collecting since you said two years before 2020?
Yeah, 2018 I think was my
2018.
first purchase.
Right on. And then so you've just been consistently collecting errors since then, hey?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man. So you,
A couple years though.
so you've been in the like big Facebook group since 2018 then, or did that start a couple years afterwards?
I probably only hopped on to Facebook in 2020 maybe.
Oh, okay, kind of when the big boom and everything was happening with all that.
Yeah, just whenever I decided that I was going to start up an Instagram and Facebook.
Oh yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, this guy over here who's so private, and now he's doing an interview. How do you like that?
Yeah, dude. That's great though. Opening up a bit, you know?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Sharing the experiences with everybody, showing people what they can get and collect. But yeah. Uh, let's see.
I,
What other questions are there?
I'm really sorry, dude, but I actually have to go.
Oh,
I
no
can
worries,
hear my
dude.
daughter crying upstairs, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to cut it short on us.
absolutely, bro. Not a problem. Family is always first, as I say. So,
Yeah,
thank you for taking the time, though, bro. I really
thank
appreciate
you.
you coming and just sharing a couple cards and sharing the stories because I freaking love the stories. That's my favorite thing about having these talks with people. So, yeah,
Yeah, of course. But
yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Thank you,
Hopefully
man.
it came out well, and
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely,
All
man.
right.
All right. You have a good night, bro.
Thank you. Talk to you
Adios,
later.
G. Bye.
Bye.